Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being. I'm Ram, and this is Meditate with Ram, our little corner of calm amongst the noise of the internet. Today we're continuing our very gentle introduction to Buddhist meditation, this time with the idea of refuge. So if you missed the previous meditation, I've put a link in the description below. So refuge is a beautiful, simple act of turning toward what truly frees the mind from confusion and suffering, and choosing to rely upon that as our steady direction in life. In Buddhism, we speak of three sources of refuge: the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. So, a little question: when we face difficulties in life, where do we go? When we have difficulties, where do we go? We naturally turn towards others for help, don't we? If we're ill, we go see a doctor. If our garden is wild and unruly, we call a gardener. If our taxes are terrifying, we find an accountant. If our hairstyle is unruly and terrifying, we find a hairstylist. But what about spiritual difficulties? The restless mind, the aching heart, the broken heart, the search for meaning in a seemingly meaningless world. Where do we turn then? Who will help us with the dissatisfaction we feel in our life? In Buddhism, we turn towards the three jewels: the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The Buddha jewel is our relationship with our spiritual guide, the enlightened beings, with Buddha, something we looked at in the previous meditation. Our relationship with the Buddha jewel provides us with a source of blessings, guidance and teachings. And Dharma means teaching, and in this context, the Dharma jewel is our inner realization of the Buddhist path. No matter how small our understanding of Dharma, we keep this jewel as precious in our mind because it is through Buddha's teachings that we can overcome life's difficulties and challenges. And the Sangha jewel is the spiritual community. It's the collection of enlightened followers who support our journey. We may not be lucky enough to live in a Buddhist community with followers of Buddha, but we can imagine the Sangha instead to perhaps consist of that group of our wisest spiritual friends. The Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha are called jewels because they are rare and precious, no matter how small. And so when faced with life's difficulties, spiritual refuge is our answer. It's the act of saying, I choose wisdom over confusion. I choose blessings and faith over chaos. I have trust in my own realizations. So it's about direction. But let's not get lost in labels. What really matters is the feeling, the turning, the trusting. the trusting in something wiser than our usual madness. And so let's engage in a short meditation on refuge. First, adopting as comfortable a posture as we can, sitting in a chair or cross-legged if that's our thing. And yes, abandoning any tasks involving driving or operating heavy machinery. I do assume we're all sensible enough to know this, but I'm going to keep saying it anyway. And if we're responsible for the care of others right now, perhaps saving this video for later, I'll be here, waiting on the internet until you're ready. So allowing the eyes to close. Bringing awareness to the breath. The natural breath. Without forcing. Just noticing the breath as it is. Really feeling the breath in our body. Maybe the rise and fall of the belly. Maybe the expansion of the rib cage. Noticing each breath, being present with each inhale and each exhale. And the mind may wander to judgments, to plans, to all the things we have to do. That's okay. That's just what the minds do. Imagine labeling all our thoughts as planning or worry. We can just put them in a bag for later. They can wait. Just following the breath. And then when we feel as though there's nothing left to plan, we can turn towards our refuge. Reflecting, where do we go when life feels difficult? Imagining the Buddha, the symbol of enlightenment, of possibility, of compassion that never tires. Perhaps having an image of the Buddha in our mind. imagining the Dharma, the teachings, the wisdom that guides our understanding and shapes our actions. So maybe having a sense of our own inner understanding of the teachings of peace and compassion, imagining it as a golden ball of light at our heart. Imagining the Sangha, imagining we are surrounded by our spiritual friends, those who inspire us simply by trying to be kind and awake. Feeling gratitude for having these people in our life. Silently repeating the following to ourselves, synchronizing this naturally with the breath. I go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. So we simply say to ourselves, I go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. And so we hold this rhythm for a few breaths, letting the words settle into our heart rather than in our head. Expanding this promise now, we can say, I go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma and Sangha until all beings become enlightened. I go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma and Sangha until all beings are enlightened. And so for the final minute of meditation, we refocus on this determination, this promise to turn towards wisdom whenever life gets messy. And so we should dedicate the positive energy we have generated, perhaps thinking, may the positivity we have created here through my insights, may this guide me along the path. May I make progress for the benefit of all. And so what we have done with this meditation is turned towards our connection with Buddhism and made a promise to stick with it until all beings are free from suffering. Thank you for allowing the eyes to open very gently and letting the body do what it naturally feels like it needs to do. Have a stretch or whatever it is the body is screaming out. So please join me again for the next meditation in this series. There are more on the way, and if you would like to go deeper, there is the Patreon. Link is in the description. Very competitive introductory tier offering at the moment, and I can offer exclusive content for longer, deeper meditations. This is a new channel, and it'd be wonderful to get some support along the way, because that will encourage me to just keep going and keep producing these videos. Also, please feel free to visit my website ramapani.com for more meditation goodies, articles, videos. Thank you very much. Go well, in peace.